Good morning and welcome to our Veterans Day webinar assembly. Welcome to all of our students, our staff, our veterans, honored guests, Douglas parents who have volunteered in so many important ways to make this day possible, especially Mrs. Maxwell and Mrs. Callahan. Also our music specialist, Mr. Chris Charig. And then our fifth grade students who are presenting some of our patriotic music this morning. And to their teachers, Miss Sandock, Mr. Kale, and Mrs. Sheridan. Wednesday, yesterday, November 11th, the country celebrated Veterans Day. Veterans have served in wars to keep us safe and free. They deserve our respect and admiration for the sacrifices that they have made so that each and every one of us may live in peace. So today, I invite you to think about all of the veterans who have walked among us and are walking among us. They may visit you in Zoom in your classrooms. They may be standing next to you in line for ice cream. Or they may be walking their dog as you pass them on the sidewalks. They have served for us, and we are truly grateful, and we wish them a happy Veterans Day. The next part of our program will be our flag ceremony, led by the 5th grade Girl Scouts, Elise Harvey, Caroline Kurtz, Hannah Ridley, and Jillian Potnick.
Please join us in the Pledge of Allegiance. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
It is now my pleasure to introduce our guest speaker. Our speaker today, Richard Hubbell, grew up in New Hartford, New York, and studied at Cornell University and at a French engineering school called L'École Mécanique et d'Aérotechnique. Mr. Hubbell served in the United States Army from 1970 to 1976 at Fort Jackson, South Carolina, Fort Dix, New Jersey, and Fort Leonard, Missouri. He has 3 children and 6 grandchildren, including Douglas students Ada Elizabeth, Anna Marie, and Nolan Hubbell. Today, he is an engineer at Belimo Air Controls. He and his wife Mary Lou split their time between Lowell, Massachusetts, and Bartlett, New Hampshire. It is my pleasure to introduce Richard Hubbell.
Hi. This Wednesday, November 11th, is Veterans Day. I am Richard Hubbell. My grandchildren, Nolan, Anna Marie, and Ada Hubbell, are in the Douglas School. And my daughter-in-law, Mrs. Hubble has asked me to speak about what Veterans Day means to me. Well, when you think about Veterans Day, what comes to mind? There are parades, there are marching bands, there are uniforms, there are guns. They may even have a tank in the parade. But when you get right down to the basics, it's all about a veteran. Who's a veteran? What's a veteran? It's a single man or woman who has sacrificed their time, their skills, their energy to protect the rest of the people in the United States. So they're our heroes. Who are the first veterans? The first American veterans were farmers in Acton, Concord, and Lexington who joined up in the Revolutionary War to protect the colonies from the British. They left their families, their homes, their farms to fight against the British who were trying to tell us what to do. In those days, it was only men and boys, men and sons, who went to war, who went into the military. Nowadays, in fact, men and women both go into the military. And what do? They make us safe and free. They protect our livelihoods. They keep our country safe. The reason why we maintain the military is because our country and our countries that are friends of ours can often be threatened by countries who aren't playing nicely with us. They're trying to force us to do things, or they may be trying to take territories from us. So where did Veterans Day originally come from? This horrible war that happened in the early 1900s, when a number of countries worldwide went into a conflict. Tremendous sacrifice on all sides. And it just so happened that war, the First World War, came to an end at the 11th hour of the 11th day of the 11th month of 1918, 102 years ago. I also think about the greatest number of veterans we've ever had who participated in World War II. This is when the Japanese bombed Pearl Harbor, and the Nazis in Germany were attacking France and England and bombing all of our ships going across the Atlantic to try to help out the British. So when I was in graduate school, the call went out to have young men and women, healthy young men and women, join the armed services because the war in Vietnam was ongoing. So we left our families and trained and learned how to get in shape and protect our grandparents and families could stay safe in the United States. I joined the Army and spent a lot of time in different areas of the country, made lots of friends in a number of different states. I remember marching with 200 people and then pitching tents in cold, rainy conditions where we'd be standing in front of a bonfire to dry out from the heavy rain we were in. So whenever you think about Veterans Day, remember all of the veterans who are sacrificing their time and their energies to protect us, keep us safe so that we can live our lives. Our children could go to school, play sports, and have good lives. When you see veterans, you should thank them for keeping us safe and for making their sacrifices. Thank you. Hope you have a great Veterans Day.
Thank you, Mr. Hubble. Mr. Charig, the 5th grade teachers, and I have created a virtual 5th grade chorus. We recorded individual and small groups of students singing and preparing this retrospective of patriotic music. It would usually be time for Douglas students to introduce our guest veterans. Instead, we share these photos set to the beautiful voices of Douglas 5th grade students. Thank you, 5th grade students. John F. Kennedy said, "As we express our thanks, we must never forget that the highest appreciation is not just to say words, but to live by them." Douglas students, if you want to honor our veterans, be brave. Stand up for what is right and stand up for others, especially those who don't have someone else to stand up for them. Thank you, everyone, and I hope you had a happy Veterans Day.